Hello everyone, this is Latha Akula. In this video, we are going to study about what is cytoplasm. In the last videos, we have studied that almost all the cells, they have three common features. They were plasma membrane, nucleus and cytoplasm. These three are common for all the cells, whether they are prokaryotic cells or eukaryotic cells. And in the last videos, we have completed the plasma membrane and nucleus. And the third one is cytoplasm. So in this video we will study about what is cytoplasm. Cytoplasm. If you see the cell, within the cell there is a fluid content is present, right? See this red color dot regions are present. That is called as cytoplasm. That is fluidic in nature. And here within that fluid cytoplasm there are several special cell organelles were present. So within the cytoplasm what are present? So there are several specialized cell organelles were present and which will carry out specific function, and each and every organelle that perform a specific function. And here if you see the cell organelles, we in this will study about there is a variation in prokaryotes and eukaryotes. That is, in eukaryotes, the cell organelles were enclosed by a membrane. The cell organelles were enclosed by a membrane. But in prokaryotes, that membrane-bound cell organelles were absent. They were not present, right? And not only this, already in the case of nucleus, we have studied, right? In the nucleus concept, we have studied the differences between prokaryotic and eukaryotic nucleus. In the eukaryotic nucleus, what is present? The nucleus is covered with a membrane. The nucleus is covered with a membrane that is called as a true nucleus. But in the prokaryotes, the nucleus is not bounded with any membrane. The nucleus will be like this. You see, this is the prokaryotic cell. The nucleus is like this without having any membrane. That nucleus, which is devoid of nuclear membrane, that is called as nucleoid. That is called as nucleoid. Nucleoid means the nucleus devoid of nuclear membrane. So that is the differences between prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. What is the difference? The eukaryotic cell, they have a membrane bound cell organelles and they have a true nucleus which is covered with membrane. True nucleus is present in the eukaryotic cells, and whereas in prokaryotic cells the membrane bound cell organelles were absent. That means whatever the organelles present, they were not covered with any membrane, and at the same time the nucleus is also not covered with any membrane. So that is devoid of a membrane, hence it is called as nucleoid. So we have to tell where in which cell the nucleoid is present. We have to say it is a prokaryotic cell, not in the eukaryotic cell. And if you see the importance of the membrane, we will take one of the most important example, that is the viruses. So viruses, they devoid of any membrane. So outside the living cell, the viruses, they may be like non-living condition. They were just like the dust particles. When they enter into the host cells, that will uses the host machinery and multiply. That means the viruses, they do not have any membrane. So without having that membrane, they appear like the non-living state. They appear in the non-living state. And now we'll see about the cell organelles. So within the cytoplasm, there are several cell organelles present, right? So these cell organelles, now we'll see about the cell organelles. So if you see the cell is covered with a membrane. What is the function of the membrane? That membrane keeps its contents. Whatever the contents present inside the cell will be separated from the external environment by means of the membrane. Right or not? So what is the function of this membrane? Whatever the contents present in the cell, that will be separated from the external environment by means of this membrane. If the membrane is absent, what will happen? The fluid will be flows out and cell organelles was not properly covered and it is open to the external environment. And here, if we take in the multicellular organelles, in multicellular organisms, there is a huge body is present, so many cells are present, and even the cells also, they perform a lot of chemical activities to maintain that multicellular condition. The cells also perform a chemical activities, lot of chemical activities. And if the cell is performing different chemical activities, and it needs to, the chemical activities needs to be separated, so those chemical activities will be separated by means of a cell organelles, the membrane bound little structures called as cell organelles. These cell organelles, they were covered with membrane, and individually whatever the chemical reactions takes place will be present within that, and those chemical reactions or activities will not be mixed up. So that is the main reason why the multicellular organisms, they have the membrane bound cell organelles. And these organelles, they were visible only with electron microscope. These are that means we have two kinds of microscopes. One is the light microscope and another one is the electron microscope. The light microscopes, they are less expensive and they have a less magnification power and less resolution. Magnification means increasing the size of any object. Resolution means to maintain the clarity. Whereas in the electron microscopes, they were highly expensive, and they have a high magnification resolution powers. And with the help of the electron microscope, we are able to watch even the minute particles of the cell organelles, minute structures of the cell organelles also. And so what are the examples for these cell organelles? There are several examples were present like endoplasmic reticulum, lysosomes, mitochondria, plastids, Golgi apparatus. All these are the different kinds of cell organelles present within the cell. Now, in this video, we are going to study about these cell organelles one by one in detail. So we have studied different examples for the cell organelles. So in this video, we are going to study about the first cell organelle, that is endoplasmic reticulum. Here, endoplasmic reticulum. See this? This is endoplasmic reticulum. This green colored one is the endoplasmic reticulum. How it looks like? It is in the form of a large network of tubes or in the form of a sheet. How it looks like? It was in the form of large network of tubes or in the form of sheets. Here, and they possess different shapes, like some are in the form of tubes, some are round shaped, and some may be in the form of vesicle or bag-like structures. And endoplasmic reticulum, the structure of this endoplasmic reticulum is similar to the plasma membrane. So what is the structure? The structure of this endoplasmic reticulum is similar to the structure of the plasma membrane. And this endoplasmic reticulum, it is of two types. One is rough endoplasmic reticulum. See this? One is a rough endoplasmic reticulum and second one is smooth endoplasmic reticulum. So what are the two kinds of endoplasmic reticulum? Rough endoplasmic reticulum and smooth endoplasmic reticulum are the two kinds of endoplasmic reticulum. See here on this, there are red colored dot like structures are present, right? This is the red rough endoplasmic reticulum. Here in smooth endoplasmic reticulum, there is no granular appearance. Here, what are present on the endoplasmic reticulum? On this rough endoplasmic reticulum, that rough or granular nature is because of the presence of ribosomes. What are these red colored dotted ones? They were nothing but ribosomes. So what are present on the rough endoplasmic reticulum? On the surface of the rough endoplasmic reticulum, ribosomes were present, and because of the presence of those ribosomes on that gives a granular appearance when we see under the electron microscope. So the granular or rough nature is because of the presence of ribosomes, and because of the presence of these ribosomes, the function of the rough endoplasmic reticulum is protein manufacture. The ribosomes, they play a major role in the manufacturing the proteins. And here, because of the presence of these ribosomes on the endoplasmic reticulum, this rough endoplasmic reticulum function is to manufacture the proteins. And then after manufacturing these proteins, what it has to do? It need to be transported to the various places of the cell depending upon the need. So these proteins prepared will be manufactured will be transported to the different places of the cells depending upon the requirement. And the second one is smooth endoplasmic reticulum. See here, this is a smooth endoplasmic reticulum. On the surface of this smooth endoplasmic reticulum, we are not able to see any granular nature. That means there is no ribosome present on the smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Because of the absence of those ribosomes on the smooth endoplasmic reticulum, they were not granular and appear smooth. And here, this is smooth endoplasmic reticulum, they do not have any ribosomes, no ribosomes. And here, the function of this smooth endoplasmic reticulum is the manufacture of fat molecules or lipids. So what is its function? To manufacture the lipids, and its function is to manufacture the proteins. We need to remember the rough endoplasmic reticulum, they manufacture the proteins, and whereas the smooth endoplasmic reticulum, they manufacture the lipids. They manufacture lipids, and rough endoplasmic reticulum, they manufacture proteins. And here, these proteins and lipids, they may be helpful in the building up of plasma membrane. Here, if we see the plasma membrane structure, the plasma membrane is made up of proteins, majorly made up of proteins and lipids only. Those proteins and lipids, where it is obtaining from the endoplasmic reticulum. So these proteins and lipids which are produced from the endoplasmic reticulum, they are helpful in the building up of the plasma membrane, and this process is known as membrane biogenesis. The process is known as membrane biogenesis. And not only this membrane biogenesis, these proteins and lipids, they are also useful in the formation of enzymes and hormones. Several enzymes and hormones are required in the eukaryotic cells, right? Those enzymes and hormones, they are also in the form of protein and lipid form. So those enzymes and hormones are also manufactured by this endoplasmic reticulum. And if you see the functions of this endoplasmic reticulum, what is the function? They transport the proteins. Transport the materials means what are the materials? Proteins. Between the various regions of the cytoplasm, or so here whatever the proteins or lipids produced will be transported to the various places of the cytoplasm. Sometimes from the cytoplasm they may be transported to the nucleus also. And here, and another function is they act as cytoplasmic framework. They will act as a framework like they will also helpful in the they provide the surface for various biochemical activities to take place, like protein manufacture, lipid manufacture, enzyme manufacture. For that it provides the surface. And here, if you see in the liver cells of vertebrates, if any drugs or toxic substances entered, there is a smooth endoplasmic reticulum that play a major role in the detoxification of drugs and toxins. So, what is the major function of the smooth endoplasmic reticulum? So, if any drugs or toxic substances entered into the body of the vertebrate, the liver cells containing smooth endoplasmic reticulum, they play a major role in that detoxification of those poisons or the drugs. So these are the main features of the endoplasmic reticulum. So with this, we have completed this video. If you like my video, please like, share and subscribe to my channel, Latha Akula Biology Tutorial.